My friends, I just want to make a quick video. My good friend Pablo passed away about 3 weeks ago. And you know, when a family member, close family member, one of your best friends, you know, passes away, folks, it hits you. It hits you pretty hard, and then, you know, you go through this feeling like you know, you can't believe that shit's happening. And I'm still in a phase of just feeling like this is a surreal moment in my life. And look, don't come across and think I'm weak. I've seen enough dead people in my day, and it don't bother me at all. But it's different when it's a family member, when it's, you know, a close friend, somebody you know, somebody you've spent a lot of time with. And so I've just been kind of dealing with that in the past few weeks. You know, I forced myself to go out a couple times and hang out with my buddy Dennis, and I want to thank Dennis for you know, for hanging out, getting me out of the house, and you know, all his support going through this. Now, folks, if you don't know Pablo, he's been one of my best friends for right at a decade now, and you know, member of my inner circle, and you know, it's just like a brother to me. So you can just say it's just like I lost a brother. I'm not here to talk about the circumstances. I got plenty to say about Pablo, but I'm going to talk about him later at a more appropriate time. Once he's been laid to rest. But I wanted to jam up this video in the essence of time, because a lot of my subscribers, a lot of you guys here on the channel, you follow me because you're about to retire, you're thinking about retiring, you have retired, and you're still, you know, living a shitty life over in the West, wherever you're at. And so a lot of you guys you're trying to get here, or you're trying to punch out, you're trying to, you know, to move somewhere else, to pursue your own happiness. And you see me living the dream, and that's why you're here. And I wanted to put this video out to talk about retirement and why I think you should question your current retirement plan. Maybe reevaluate what your time frame is. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of food for thought to think about. My buddy Pablo would have been 49 this year. He's 48 years old. He's dead. And a couple years ago, well, about 3 years ago, you know, he started talking about, man, I'm ready to punch out. I just want to move to the Philippines and, you know, just live up there on a pig farm, live a simple existence. And what kind of advice do you give a friend, you know, when he's 45 years old? And folks, if you leave your home country and you want to go live cheap somewhere, hey, that's good on you. But it still takes some money to do that. You can't just go there and live for free. And a lot of these places, you know, you get a job, you're not making a lot of money. So you have to have some type of income coming in if you're going to leave the West and go, you know, live in a bamboo hut on the beach, or get a room like I had down there for 28 bucks a month. It still takes money. And so when he first started talking about this, you know, what's the best advice? Hey man, stick it out a few more years until you get some type of pension. Because if you punch out and live on savings, it usually doesn't last very long. But in the past year or so, I started changing that advice, and anytime he would say, hey, I want to punch out, I said, dude, go, just go. Pack your shit, quit, and just go. You know, life is short. That's how we live our lives. Life is short. We know we're going to die. But you have to weigh this balance between realizing that you're going to die and having enough money to live until that point. And nobody knows what that point is. you know, unless you've been diagnosed with cancer or some type of terminal disease and you have a time frame. But in Pablo's case, folks, okay, he's dead. He's dead. He didn't get to draw 1 penny of his pension, not 1 penny of Social Security, nor spend any of his savings. So what's the philosophy, what's the learning point in this, is that even though, you know, you've got this 5-year plan, this 2-year plan, whatever, you may want to move that timeline to the left, to my left, which is move that thing back a bit. And I talked about this retirement in a previous video about, you know, if you love your job, you love going to work, you know, you're you know, kind of senior up in your organization, your company, you love going to work, well, don't retire early. Just keep riding that gravy train, take some lavish vacations. You know, you got, at that stage in the game, you probably got at least 30 days of vacation a year. With the flip side advice being that if you hate going to work and you hate your job and you hate your life, retire as soon as you can, no matter how much money you're gonna get. Because if you're miserable, you can retire, get that small check. You can go work a second job somewhere to supplement that, and you're gonna live a better life. You know, why would you stay in a job that you fucking hate for 30 years just to get $500 a month? That doesn't make any sense to me. If, you know, in my life, whenever I had a job that I did not look forward to getting up in the morning and going to, that's when I found a new job. Same way with women. I wake up with a woman and I'm not fucking happy, she's got to go, because life is short. I'm not living my life unhappy. That's the way it's going to be. It's the way it always has been. So you got to look at the possibility you're not going to get to draw that money. And if you're thinking about waiting until you're 65 to punch out, folks, you're way behind the game. You're just way behind, because when you hit 65, let's face it, shit on our bodies start to break down. You think you're gonna go fly fishing in the mountains, you know, every day. Once you retire and get your full Social Security, you might not be able to fucking walk down the damn riverbank to get up in there and go fishing. I'm kind of rambling here, but the point of this video, for all my folks who watch my channel and, you know, are thinking about retiring, I want you to reevaluate your plan and think about moving that timeline to the left. In other words, you know, retiring sooner than later. Now, there's other options if you know, if you're shitty, if your life is shitty and you're not happy right now. You know, say you're living up north, you're tired of dealing with the snow, what have you. Get a job in Florida, somewhere where it's warm, and move. That's simple. Maybe that changes your whole lifestyle. Well, it will change your whole lifestyle, but maybe it puts you in a lot better mood and a better place. You know, if you're living in Arizona and you're tired of the heat, take your ass up to the mountain somewhere. It's that simple. You don't have to punch out to the Dominican Republic or over here to the Philippines, Southeast Asia, Central America. You don't have to go to those drastic extremes to make a change in your life where you go from being miserable to being happy. You know, you're miserable with your wife. Okay, it's time for a divorce. Sooner than later, get rid of that bitch. Give her everything, just like I said in my book. Give her everything, get the hell out of there and start over. Because there's gonna come a time when you're not gonna be able to start over because you're fucking dead. All these plans that my buddy Pablo had, you know, just 1 more year, just 2 more years, it's all gone because he's in a box right now. I don't want to talk about him too much. Like I said, once he's laid to rest, I'm going to have plenty to say, and we'll just leave it at that right now. But folks, that's what I want to encourage you to do, is to reevaluate, question your retirement plan. Okay, in the past 10 years, I got about 6 close friends in my inner circle. I know a lot of people. I've made a lot of new friends because of this YouTube channel, and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm not taking anything away from my new friends, but I want to talk about my long-term friends who have been around, you know, right at a decade. And I want to tell you, 10 years ago, it was 6 of us. Or let's just say there were 6 of us around 10 years ago. Then I had a friend die. He was 38, dead. Who the hell thinks they're going to die when they're 38? Nobody. He's gone. My buddy from down in Cebu, 55 years old, dead. We were at a chicken fight on Tuesday, drinking Tanduay rum and fucking Nestea, betting on chickens. Raising hell, listening to music. Friday, he's dead. That's it. End of mission. Okay, fast forward to 3. Well, let me just show you the dates, and you know, hold on a second, because I want to make sure I get my dates right. My buddy Pablo is here in the Philippines. Okay. We were drinking beer in Subic, we were drinking beer in Angeles, and last time I saw him was on Saturday, May the 11th. We went out the night before in Angeles on Friday night, fucking ate at Tequila Reef, drank some margaritas, went over to Midnight Rodeo, had a great night. Next day we chilled out in his room, his flight was that night, so he left out on the 11th. I talked to him on the 20th, which I talked to him, you know, a few times, but last time I talked to him was on the 20th. He was dead on the 21st, just like that. You know, you're having a conversation with a guy, hey man, I'll hit you up tomorrow, I got another call, what have you, or you know, I got a bad connection, I'll call you tomorrow, just, hey, let me call you back, and you never get to make that phone call. Another reason that I felt this video prudent was I met a new buddy of mine, Jeff. Shout out to Jeff and his fiance, man. It was cool meeting you guys over at Cheap Charlie's about a week ago. And Jeff told me he's on a 2-year plan. He's on a 2-year plan. He's got some stuff to finish up. Got to take care of some relatives, and then he's moving over here in 2 years. Well, there's no guarantee, man. And what I told Jeff, I said, you see that bar stool over there? He said, yeah. I said, well, you know, about 3 weeks ago, my buddy Pablo was sitting on that fucking bar stool, drinking and smoking just like we are right here. And now he's dead. You may want to evaluate your plan and move the timeline to the left, because you can't buy any more time. I've already talked about how a lot of dudes come over here, they're in their 60s, they make it a few years, they'll build this house, whatever, this big house, or try to open a business or do something. Next thing you know, they develop a medical problem on the next plane back to the West, where they're, you know, in their healthcare system. All these plans and money, what, they got to enjoy it for 2 fucking years? And the same thing with a lot of buddies sitting on bar stools, you know, between here, Thailand, Cambo, Vietnam. You know, you'll be drinking with these guys one day and boom, they just don't show up for the bar. And then you find out later, you know, they're dead. So I hope just these few words have given you some food for thought. Folks, we're not going to live forever. When I told Doc Wayne about this, his response was, now he's in his 60s. His response was, mortality is a bitch. Guess I better get my will, you know, updated, and something else he said. I can't remember what he said, but mortality's a bitch. I guess I better get my will straightened out. I'm going to talk more about wills and shit like that on another video at a later date. I'm just kind of biding my time right now for some reasons I'll explain later. folks, thanks for listening. You know, it took me a while to get to where I could just say anything about Pablo. And again, he's like a brother to me. So me and the J-Dog have taken a huge loss. The world has taken a huge loss. But we all agreed that, you know, when one of us died, that we wouldn't cry. We would celebrate the other person's life. And it's easy to say and a little bit harder to do, but that's what we all insist. There's no need to cry when either one of us die. It's celebrate, get drunk, drink some Jack Daniels, and just drive on. So out of you know, his family, fucking Bo. You know, for his family, obviously they're going to grieve and mourn their loss in their own way. But selfishly, I feel like I'm more family because I've spent a lot more time around my buddy Pablo in the past 10 years than you know, anybody else. So we will, at a later date, we will celebrate his life in our own way here in the Philippines. Probably have a little ceremony up on the pig farm for him after a week-long blowout in the Angeles City. So that's pretty much what I got to say, folks. Thanks for listening to me. I know this is a rambling video, and I'm just here in my little cubby hole. So I may change the background just to change this blue wall behind me. I'll see you guys on the next video. You know, I haven't posted a whole lot lately, but I just kind of been in a rut because of this news and the situation. But it's time to get back on the horse and just drive forward. And like we always taught, just celebrate life instead of mourning someone's death. I'll see you guys on the next video, my friends.